Hey, I hope you guys are doing well today. I'm doing pretty good myself. I'm feeling, let's be more honest. I've been really good for most of the day. This past hour or so, I've been a little anxious. So, how I've been trying to deal with that is, well, one, um, when I'm driving places, I'm in the car, right? I just got done shopping. I had to get some boxes because I'm moving. On the way back, 15-minute drive, no music, silence. I always do this, right? But I've never explained this in a video. I feel like silence is really good for relieving stress, and well, because you're going to be, rather than listening to music or a podcast or inputting new information while you're stressed, you're going to be thinking and developing your thoughts and developing your understanding, I guess, of what's important, right? And sometimes I feel as if stress is caused by a momentary lapse in judgment, right? And judgment of what's important in particular. When you're stressed, I feel as if that your values are kind of skewed. They're not what they normally are when you're level-headed. So say normally you value, just let's say something broad, you value health, right? When you're stressed, you might be thinking more things like you value what other people think of you, right? So you're worried about what people are saying or thinking when you're doing something, right? Say, if I was more stressed right now, I'd be more worried about how I sound to the audience, to you guys. But right now, because I took that time to sit in silence, let my thoughts and ideas develop, which gets you or helps you find a better understanding of what's important and a better understanding of what your values really should be. And most of the time, I feel like my values are those values, but it's just there's certain moments where it's just something, I'm not sure why or what, stresses me out, and then I forget what's important. So because I was able to get rid of this stress, find what's important, I'm no longer, I can't say no longer worried about what you guys as an audience are thinking about what I'm saying, because I wasn't worried to start. But I think that if I maybe was listening to a podcast and intaking more information while I'm already stressed and need to organize the information that's already in my head, then I would have pressed record on the video and I might have been stuttering, talking a little awkwardly, and not really able to get to the point as well, because I'm thinking about what you guys are thinking about me instead of just being able to focus on exactly what I'm doing and have my thoughts be organized and, well, actually having the ability to recall information as I need it. Because stress inhibits your ability to recall information. It inhibits your prefrontal cortex. So what stress actually does is, so it takes cells that are going to turn into neurons and instead turns those cells into cells that inhibit the function of the prefrontal cortex, which is the portion of the brain that deals with your memory or is responsible for your memory. And if you guys don't know, neurons are the cell in your brain that allows you to learn new information and retain that information. So prefrontal cortex, that allows you to, that's memory, right? That allows you to recall information. If it's inhibited, you're not going to be recalling information as well. If I was more stressed, my ability to recall information would be more, it wouldn't be as good, right? I wouldn't be able to give you these ideas. I wouldn't have remembered the fact that stress inhibits your prefrontal cortex. I wouldn't have been able to explain that to you if I was more stressed. But also, you're not able to learn as well because you need to be able to recall information in order to understand the new information that you're being presented with. So what I mean by new information you're being presented with is, if you're reading, that's new information you're being presented with. If you're listening to a podcast, that's new information you're being presented with. Or even there's less obvious examples that I just can't think of right now, but my point is, there's so many different examples of this, and it's not just like the obvious ones, like intaking information where your goal is, okay, I'm going to sit down, listen to this podcast to learn, right? Or I'm going to sit down, read this book in order to learn. There's obviously a million other places in life where learning is important, but you're not really thinking about how much you want to learn how to do this thing, right? It's maybe something more boring, like how to cook better, right? It's not something that, or like the process of cooking, how to do it more efficiently, effectively, not like scrambling to get all the items out on time before the food burns, whatever it is, right? Like things like that, just small things that if you do learn how to do better, it will impact your development as a person. Just because, again, like I said, with that example, if you're scrambling to get out all the ingredients in, like, while the food is cooking, and you're worried that it's going to burn, and then that just leads to more stress, and again, stress inhibits your ability to learn. So even if you don't care about learning how to do that, it will affect your ability to learn later when you do care about what you're doing, and do care about learning that activity or thing, subject, whatever. Something else about stress. It gives you this like weird, I forget what it's called. Option paralysis, right? You think, or you have a bunch of different ideas of what you want to do, or what you might want to do, or whatever it is, and you can't come up with the best one. And you just kind of have to realize that you're not always going to know what the very best option is. You're not going to always know how to do what you're doing perfectly, and it kind of just doesn't matter. You just kind of have to understand that, accept that, and learn to, somehow you have to learn how to make decisions a little bit quicker each time, right? Say you're stressed and you have to decide how to do something. You give yourself, like, say you've already been taking a moment to decide. It's already been like a few minutes, and you realize, like, okay, this has been a while. I might be stuck here if I just don't make a decision. You have to, like, give yourself a countdown or something, like literally just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, make a decision, right? And I find that is stressful, of course, because you don't feel like you're making the best decision, because you don't know what the best decision is, but you just have to do that so you can move on with your life and learn from that. You're not always going to know what the best decision is before you make it. So you have to understand that you learn from making decisions. And when you give in to option paralysis and end up just not making a decision, you can't learn. You can't learn from a decision that you don't make. So how are you going to figure out what really is the best option, or the best way to go? You could say, well, I'm not ready to make that choice yet. I'm going to go learn more about it. I'm going to go research. But still, eventually you're going to have to make that decision. You just have to pull the trigger at some point and learn from it, because you're never going to be able to perfectly understand something that's explained in words, like through through a video or through text. Whatever it is, you're never going to be able to perfectly understand something without experiencing it yourself. Humans need experience, and experience related to the idea that's being portrayed in words in order to understand the words fully, right? You can't just... It's hard to put this into words, exactly what I'm trying to say, but I think you guys get the point. It's not... Eventually, you're going to have to make the decision, and you likely won't feel 100% confident, is the bottom line. You're likely going to feel as if you might be making the wrong decision, and that's true. You might be, and you have to accept that. No matter how confident you are in any decision, you might be making the wrong decision. You could be making a decision that kills you, like saying, should I go to the store or not? Yeah, I'll go to the store. Then you step outside and a plane crashes into you. Or maybe something more realistic, you crash your car, right? But you never know what the right decision is my point. No matter how confident you are, it could be the wrong decision. You just have to make one. And then from there you learn. And then the more decision, it's like repetitions. You can think of it as repetitions. The more decisions you make, those are repetitions. That's how you get better at making decisions, and you're going to get rid of that option paralysis. Yeah. Option paralysis. It's just you don't have enough practice making decisions quickly. So the only way to get better at that is to practice making decisions quickly. That doesn't mean don't think through certain magnitudes of decisions. Some decisions you need to take more time on, for sure. But something like you're at the store and you're thinking, do I want coconut water or should I skip it today? And it's something so simple like that. And then it worries you past the point of like rationality. Like that's not a rational amount of stress to care about coconut water that much. But it happens all the time. It doesn't happen all the time to me. It happens all the time in the world, right? Overall, that happens all the time. People getting worried over something so simple. And again, it's repetition. So think of it as you're in the gym and you're doing squats. You're not going to get stronger by doing so the less repetitions you take or repetitions you do, the less repetitions, the less you're going to get out of it. The less practice, the less, if you're talking technique, or less strength that you gain if you're talking like lifting, and then the less of that, I'm not portraying this well. I know you guys get the point. Repetition, practice makes perfect, right? Practice makes perfect. Just make the decision. Don't worry so much about exactly how you do it. Just do it, and then you'll learn from that. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good day.